Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So thank you both for being here. We have with us today Greg Owens, the 2018 Sarasota and Manatee Realtor Association president and broker owner of Keller Williams on the Water in both Bradenton and Sarasota. And of course, Mike Renick, broker associate and owner of Team Renick out on Longboat Key. So thank you both for being here. Gentlemen, I wanted to talk about what has been a hot topic over the past month, maybe a couple of weeks and even days, which is the red tide. And so I'd like to start with you, Greg, if I could. If you could tell me, give me just an overview, if you could, or give us an overview of what that red tide is.
Well, I mean, red tide is a natural occurring within our area. I forget for it, but it's got one. It's been around here for basically forever, and it comes and goes in different levels. I think the last time we had it this much was probably 12, 13 years ago when I was here. But it's just naturally occurring in our area, and there are efforts now to work on it to try and mitigate it, both from remote marine being supplied by the state, and they do have some solutions that they're to make it just not as spread out as much as it has been lately. The big thing to me is when we're talking about the real estate market, the last statistics that came out for Sarasota and Manatee, which came out at the end of August, did not show a huge drop in sales at all. In fact, prices continued to go up and sales continued to be steady, and inventory continued to be tight. So that's an indication that even though red tide is here, and it's been here now for over, in various stages for over a month or so, it really hasn't affected what's going on. Now, I did read an article this morning that said that the hotels are seeing a drop in their numbers. Granted, I could see that. But for people coming down trying to buy houses or condos or townhouses, we just haven't seen those numbers drop.
That's great. Well, thank you for that. So if I heard you, we have, although this exists, that we have not really, or it has not really had any dramatic effect on our current real estate market. So thank you for that. I'd like to turn to Mike a little bit. Mike, so you have an office out on Longboat Key, and I think that since real estate is a local market, Greg got to speak to what's happening in our county and overall in the statistics for Sarasota as well as Manatee. I'd like to ask you more specifically, what impact has it had on you and your clients out there on the island? You're sitting right in the middle of things.
We get asked this question every day, and thank you for letting me be a part of it. What we've had some impact. The impact has been where someone has decided not to come to Longboat Key, but they're delaying their trip. And what I explained to them, we've had to do a lot of research, but the red tide is nothing more than it's a normal marine algae that exists in the Gulf of Mexico, and when it blooms, it releases the toxin. So it's a temporary phenomenon. I've been down here for 10 years now, and this has probably been our most challenging year. But it's like when you live up north, you put up with tornadoes and severe weather and things like that. Down here in this beautiful Gulf, red tide is one of the phenomenons. It normally doesn't have any impact. We believe we're close to the end right now. In fact, the folks that have delayed their trips have all rescheduled, so I'm really excited about that. So it's business as usual. There's only so much property out here on the Gulf and out on the islands, and it's a beautiful place to live. And I think folks realize that.
Yeah, I just note from my end, there's a boat ramp near my house, and there's several around the area. And I noticed last weekend, it is fishing season down here, that the boat ramps were full and people were going out to go fishing. They wanted to get out there and catch their limit and do what they want to do, red tide or not. I don't see it as affecting even that area of it. that they're out there doing, you know, during fishing season, which is not a big deal.
Hey, Curtis, if I can
Yes.
turn us around a little bit, may I ask you
Yes.
a question? From, you know, you didn't really get a good introduction. You're the CEO of our office.
If you can hear me, I think it cut out for a sec. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Curtis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask you from the CEO perspective of our Sarasota office.
Yes.
Are you seeing a different impact than what Greg and I have shared?
Yeah, so I think, thank you for that question. I think that, overall, still super busy in real estate. Talking to the agents in the office, we've been in, our office location in Sarasota, been there for about just under 5 years. And, this has been a topic of conversation. And, I think oftentimes we feel like the sky may be falling or something to that effect. And really our numbers have not at this time been impacted. We have both buyers and sellers. The buyers coming in, we've had a few that have said, I'm going to sit patiently and wait a little bit. And we've at the same time had many sellers that have gone ahead and listed and have had their properties sold very quickly. So, I think we've had so much in the news talk about it, a little bit of rumblings, of course, with those folks who in fact live in Sarasota, live, work, and play in Sarasota, perhaps not the seasonal folks. However, really, it has not had any overall impact. Our numbers don't reflect that at all. In fact, we had one of the best months ever in August, which if you look back through, the recorded news and stuff, that's when they were probably talking about it the most. So, again, as Greg, I think, alluded to a little bit earlier, it's a naturally recurring thing. It's something we have, all the time at some level anyway. And it's not impacted our numbers. So, it appears that 2018 is going to be another banner year in Florida real estate. So very excited about that. And, I just felt that, and I'm so glad that both of you are on, that this was just a perfect opportunity to talk about what are the happenings out there, what do we feel, what do we see, and what are we hearing, and so great question. I hope that answered yours. So
yeah, all forecasts, Curtis, are strong for this whole area. I know you know about the entire area, but looking my perspective more on the islands, we're looking for a banner season. In fact, up north, I tease that people can tell seasons are changing because the leaves are changing color. Down here, it's the car haulers, and the car haulers are bringing the vehicles back. So our friends, our snowbirds, are coming, and that lights up and really takes us up to the next level for the season.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and so I'd just like to ask, and thank you both for being here. I'd like to ask Mike, since you're out there, in it deep, I guess you could say, being on Longboat and working with both the buyers and the sellers. Before we go, what suggestions might you both have? I'll start with you, for those buyers and those sellers that we have out there, the buyers that are coming and the sellers that are looking to sell.
It's business as usual. We're looking for a strong year. Prices, like Greg mentioned, continue to rise. Inventory is not back to healthy levels. So everything points to a banner year. I would suggest to sellers, if you plan to sell, get with a reputable agent and find out what your property is worth and what kind of a plan they would put behind it. For buyers, get with someone that knows the market. There's great opportunities on both sides.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize, as season comes upon us, people are starting to think about buying houses, especially after Thanksgiving, which is traditionally when we start seeing that increase in people looking at properties online, thinking about coming down and getting it. I was talking. Remember, Sarasota just got named the #1 luxury area in the country, right? The whole country. So we got to look at that perspective. And the other is, what I often find is buyers think that they have a whole bunch of time to wait to purchase a property when they come down. So they do a lot of looking around in December and January. When they start purchasing towards March and April, when the inventory is extremely tight. If you look at a statistical chart, it shows you that the level of inventory goes up right? November, December, beginning of January, when people put it on the market, but then it plummets because there's a mad rush before people leave to get that property under contract or to buy that condo or whatever it is they have. My suggestion to wise buyers is get down early and get out there quicker than the other people so you have choices. Because by the time traditionally March and April comes around, you're picking over what everybody else didn't put under contract. That's what's happening. And you've got less and less choices. By the time you hit March, April, your choices are going down, 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 down. And you can look that over years and years and years statistically and charts. So I would suggest to anybody out there, get down early so you have a choice, and then you can pick up the properties that are just coming on the market.
Sure. Yeah. Any final words, Mike? I appreciate you both being here. So.
Yeah.
No, thanks for pulling this together, Curtis. I appreciate the fact that I was invited to be on. Looking forward to a great year with a great company.
Yep.
Important topic. I think we needed to talk about it. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.